Good evening.
Yes.
Good
That's
evening.
a good idea.
Welcome to Damage D&D. It's Tuesday. No, it's not. It's Sunday. Is it Friday? I'm not sure what day it is, to be honest. Pretty sure it's Sunday. It's a bank holiday weekend here. Everything's a bit wibbly wobbly, timey wimey. Anyway, the investigators. That's the important thing. I knew about that bit. So, DM.
That's me. Yes, so we're picking back up. You guys are all at home. You're about to get a visitor. But before we get to that, let's hear from Bernia.
Often in these times, I am reminded of the stories of my homeland, of great warriors felling Nosoro, of heroic champions leading the charge of battle, and of even the smallest of people doing the greatest of things. Each battle we face, the more heroic my companions look. I am proud of them. We were standing in a quiet moment, having slayed the beasts of the rift for a third time. Unsure if our gambit of having Sasha sit out the fighting, not indulging in the parent Greem, had worked. With a thought, Sasha confirmed with the Dream Lord that she had passed his test, and that she would awaken with the last part of the key in her hand. I am impressed by her willpower. She is a strong warrior in arm and mind. We then had to find our way out of the dream, with Atan suddenly vanishing and Mazdak trying to bend his control of it. We eventually found escape through sleep, awakening finally on the next day. I admit to a pit opening in my stomach at the thought of time passing, knowing what challenge faces us next. After organizing ourselves and ensuring that we were no longer in the dream, we set about making our preparations for facing the Ridugita. Atan and Kral headed to speak with Several about the device. It seemed news to everyone that I was mostly certain he was my father. This fact does not mean I forgive his actions. Myself, Sasha, and Bug headed to Lucrezia to get paid and to get some information, whilst Mazdak and Morgrax headed to speak with Grandmaster Stanyard, another wizard I have little trust in. I suspect Mazdak is the only one I have found so far that I can. I have been carrying Moraga on my back for several days now. It has been a presence in my thoughts since I took hold of it. It is a powerful weapon, but after a conversation with the Blade Whisperer Scalebane, I feel less drawn to it. Moraga is the blade blessed by Astala. It was wielded by their champion long ago, no doubt in some tale of strength and power, and would be at home being wielded in efforts to save our world. But, as Mazdak correctly pointed out, it is of a god that we are in conflict with. The aspects of disease and poison do not fit with either my or Nagale's goals. No. If I am to wield a weapon of this strength, it will be my own. Whether that will happen before we prevent the oncoming apocalypse, I do not know. What I do know is that my own tale of heroism is coming. A battle that I have seen coming since Nagale saved me on that battlefield over a year ago. Will I be strong enough? I do not know. Will I be able to protect my allies? I do not know. Will I prove worthy of Nagale's favor? I do not know. All I do know is that I must do all that I can, and not let the nightmares succeed over me again.
Very nice.
Superb. Excellent stuff. So, thank you. So we pick up, or where we left off at least, was Several had an argument with Stanyard down in the lab, and had kicked Several out. He took Kral with him, and they headed for your house. Welcome, Ash. Thanks for joining. We did wait for a little bit. Obviously, you turned up during the gender recap, so you've not missed anything. Debbie is still not with us. As for,
I'm glad you didn't say no longer with us.
no longer with us.
Yes, ISP problems.
Yeah. But hopefully she joins us at some point. So with Several walking as fast as he can, with Kral back to the house, you eventually make it. All okay?
Yeah.
So Kral and Several turn
Wow.
up at the house. Several. They're very different names apart from the first letter, and it's confusing me. Easily done.
Damn
Several
alphabet.
Several just sort of tries to open the door. I don't know whether it's locked, but
Probably not, as we're all in.
so yeah, he just strolls in, Kral in tow, and wanders into the living room and turns to address as if everyone's already gathered there waiting for him, which I presume is not the case.
Yes.
No.
Welcome in, Several, please.
If everybody is available, I would like to talk to you all.
Indeed. I think Mazdak might be upstairs reading.
The library's
We can get him.
the next room over, so
Yeah, I can hear voices, so I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll come out of the library. Several.
Roll
Good.
basically pull out like a small gear and use his magical tinkering, and it will just be a case of everybody to the living room, please. Everybody to the living room, and he will give it to Kez, and Kez will just fly around the house to everybody's rooms,
Nice.
and it'll just be sort of emitting that every 6 seconds.
I thought you'd secretly installed an intercom in the house.
This is a household announcement. Could everyone please make their way to the living room? Thank you very much, and have a
No,
good
no,
evening.
no, that is not. That's way too polite. It would just be a case of everybody to the living room, everyone to the living room. That would be it.
And as he sort of stood there waiting, you can see him just sort of like leaning a little bit before he like corrects his posture. He's always very upright, very proper. Thank you all for taking the time. So Stanyard has removed me from the lab.
Removed you? Why?
He said I am no longer a Grand Master of the Council and therefore have no authority in investigating whatever is down there,
Right.
and has said that if I do not relinquish the facility, then I will be removed from the city.
Oh, well, that seems very extreme.
It is within his power to remove people from his. Sorry,
This might be a bit obvious, but why has he chosen now? When you've been working on things down there for a while, but why has he chosen now of all times?
I don't know. He didn't say. But the important thing is, I don't need it.
Right.
Was it really him?
He cast a spell. Kral saw it. Only those with some connection with Seti could cast it. I don't believe it was an imposter.
He'll look at Mazdak and he'll just go and make the same bubble.
So, in my research down there, I don't believe the device ever worked. They were very much on the right track. They had everything set up, but they were missing something.
Right, do you know what it is they were missing, or had you not got that far?
Power. They were missing power. Obviously, they have ways of generating power. Even the wizards 15,000 years ago would have had the capability to generate power, but I think it needed something more specific.
Right.
But I believe, I think what they needed was some way to manipulate the weave in a specific way. I'm not saying, Mazdak, that you would be able to power something like this.
I mean, theoretically.
Theoretically. But the requirements of it would kill you.
Well,
How long did it take you to get to this conclusion? Would Stanyard be able to get there in just the same amount of time?
have you told Stanyard the research you were doing?
No, I did not. I did not tell him my findings. He asked, but I told him no. All of my notes are kept on my person at all times. There is nothing left down there.
Do you think he could figure it out for himself?
I did, so he can.
Should I keep this, or do you want it?
You can keep it. Because I am trying to get better at playing with a team here. If something happens to me, I'm not saying I'm expecting something to, but at least you have a backup.
Right. Okay.
Mazdak,
Yes.
are you able to, as Kral put it, for us right now?
Of course. Yes. And I will cast the privacy bubble.
Yes, good. Good. Well done. This is the same spell.
So I just wanted to ask something. You said that they were missing power back then,
Yes.
but you said that we don't need a device down there. As in,
Correct.
we can build our own, or Mazdak can power this without it.
What they were trying to do back then was create similar to the portal system we have, where anybody can use it. What they were trying to do was to create a magically powered device that could take people to other realms.
Right.
We have to remember that this thing likely did not exist when the new gods went to the divine realm.
The new gods, that was about 80,000 years ago, and this lab was about 15, so... So,
Do you trust Stanyard?
that's a complicated question. Yes and no.
Okay, to put the question down a bit, do you trust him not to be on the wrong side?
I don't think he's trying to destroy the world, if this is what you mean. I think he has his own interests, but I don't think he would try and get in the way of what we're doing. So, the device was created and set up in a way that would have worked if they could power it. But because we are not trying to create the same system with 6 different destinations, I think I can condense that down into a single ritual, using the 3 pieces of the key that you guys have, and using a power source that we know is on the horizon.
You want to use it and on at the last.
You want to use the last rift to power this.
Yes.
That makes sense.
So, sorry, I'm just having a bit of a thought, so forgive me if this is incorrect. The power of the rift. The rift is a gap in the weave. that the old god of time is trying to get out through. So, as a power source, it's only available for a short amount of time. Now,
Yes.
I can try and slow its journey through this plane to give us more of its time.
We can. You have felt the build-up of its power in the days before.
Yes.
If we set up the ritual to begin collecting that energy before, we don't need to complete it at the point that the rift opens. We just need to be there and have the ritual, and hopefully we can complete the ritual before the rift opens.
Right. Okay. So
And
this
you
will
correct me. Go, Maztek.
So, this will create a device that will then be able to be used to transfer to one plane of existence, the plane we wish to go to, the realm of the gods, the divine,
Yes.
whenever we wish it? Or does it have to be at that time? I'm just thinking, if we go to the realm of the gods just before the rift opens, destroys the world, we're stuck in the realm of the gods.
This is what I was going to say. From what Chikoto has said, and from what we have been able to find, the destruction of our plane comes at the hands of the gods battling. So we would be arriving there as the old gods arrived there, which is precisely when we would need to be there.
The last rift is what I understand destroys the barriers enough for the old gods to become free within the realm of the gods.
Right, okay, sorry, I misunderstood. Sorry, okay.
And it is, as Bernie has said, that battle
Yes.
that destroys the world.
Okay,
So-
well that's good then, so we can get there just before that happens.
Yes.
But forgive my naivety here as well. But we know we can't use any kind of teleportation spell for some days after a rift has been here. But what about using the power of a rift to use a teleportation?
Well, we're not teleporting, technically. We are
Really?
shifting between planes. It's not really
as
a
an
teleport. A
imagined
teleport is
package,
something on the
we're-
same plane.
We're
So,
unlocking the door, opening it, and stepping through.
quite.
We're not
Right.
teleporting. We're essentially passing a barrier between realms.
No, that makes
Repeating
sense.
what the gods did all those years ago.
So it's less a teleport. It's more of a, going through a gate.
Yes, I don't think it is going to shoot you off into the past or anything.
Well, we've been there and done that to an extent.
And if we go just before the last rift, we will arrive precisely when we need to be there.
Do we know if anything else is coming out of this rift? We don't want to leave everybody here defenseless, after all.
I don't think anybody here has the defense to put up to essentially what we know comes out of the rift, which is the god of time.
Yes, but is he not going to be coming out into the divine realm, not into
Yes.
our realm?
Correct.
So, unless there are other smaller rifts that happen at the same time,
I don't think
I
so.
think this.
I think he
would
needs
be
to put
unfortunate.
all of the energy that he has into this one rift so that he can get himself and the others free.
This may seem a bit callous, but at that point, we need to focus on this final rift and get into the divine realm.
Yes,
Any
we
of the
do.
smaller rifts, the people there,
I
word
don't.
is spread far enough that they will have to deal with it themselves.
I don't think
I
there
don't
will
think
be
there's-
smaller rifts. I really don't.
And
I
I don't
think all of the energy that he is using to open this rift to free himself and his companions, I think
I
will be
mean-
concentrated on one rift.
I don't disagree with you, Mazdak. I'm just speaking to Atan's point, that people will have to deal with it themselves.
Oh,
if there
absolutely.
are
We
any-
cannot be in all places at all times. We need to be going for the main target, as it were.
But also, I know we didn't get all the information we needed when we went through the rift in Dwarven country, begins with M,
Batuska.
by Tusco. But I'm pretty sure they said rift opened, battle ensued. Nothing else was left, which meant apart from who was left, the dwarves and then the dark elves. Nothing else would have come through, because if it did, I think all of them would be dead.
So, we have to get us to the site of the rift opening a couple of days before, so we can start powering up this ritual. So we've got about 2.5 weeks, maybe.
Yes.
So, the first item on the agenda is the Ridikita. Whatever
Yes.
whatever Stanyard is doing, I'm afraid, is low on our priority list. We have immediate threats to resolve. We have to get the Ridikita dealt with. We have to get this ritual complete so we can go to the realm of the gods to fix this problem. Whatever Stanyard is doing, we just let him do it. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's not our problem. These are our problems.
Exactly.
If to be in the divine realm, we'll, if we come back, we'll have more than enough power to deal with whatever we have to deal with.
Well, probably. If we survive.
The only question I think remains is who we trust to be the present for this ritual.
It will be us and several.
The people in this room. I don't trust anybody
That's it.
else outside this group here.
Several has to perform the ritual, as I will be on hand to direct power from the rift into the ritual.
And if you can teach myself and Atan the simple basics, we can support you with that.
Yes, of course.
I think 3 of us.
But
will be
I think
doing
Ridikita first, then we teach you two about weave manipulation, then we go. That's it. That's that. In my mind, that is the order of things. That is all we're going to be able to do.
We
We must concentrate.
After the Vidagita is slain, we will have 2 weeks to prepare.
Exactly.
I think that is what we are facing right now.
Yes.
And several,
Right.
just in. Sorry, go on. Go on.
Might I suggest you expand the personnel involved in this?
I had
You-
one thought in mind.
Have made friends along the way. You do have allies on which you can call. The thing that concerns me, you see his exhaustion more than ever, is that somebody, we're safe in here, that Contarara will find out the plans and send forces against you.
This is more than likely.
Well,
You will need support.
I've been thinking about that, and we send word to Seti and Lermy, get them to pull together the allies that they've got. We speak with Lucretia. She pulls together what she can.
Hmm.
I can speak to my father in Armenia. They owe us after all.
I think we should also send word to Jukoto. She may be blessed by one of the gods that has been opposing this, but either she can help us or she gets her final wish and he allows her to die.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, she would be a valuable ally, at least to defend the ritual while it's taking place.
And the Shadow Singers are also on our side.
I suggest that we ask Jakoto to come with us through the rift,
So
or
another
through
thing I
the
was thinking.
ritual rather, so she can confront.
That's true.
Quite.
And several, just for simplicity's term, were pretty much bottling lightning with this weave manipulation power to save it to go through to the divine realm, yes?
Yeah. Yes. Though obviously there is something that can be done without this. The original group, the gods as they are now, did not have access to the rifts to use as a power source to get there, so they had another way. But this is the way we have right now.
And to ask the gods of how they did, despite Manamorgrax's connections, would clue Contorara in what we are doing.
Yes. Yes, we do not speak of what we are doing. I will message to Jakoto nearer the time and ask her to meet us for an extended talk or meeting of some kind.
We asked people to meet us at the start on the pretense that we don't know what's coming out of this thing, and
Well,
we need all the
yes.
backup we can get. We asked people
Indeed.
to gather there on that pretense, and then we do what we need to do.
But we need to be there 2 days before several to bottle this power.
I would say that would give us enough. We can't be there too early. I mean, it's not possible to get there too early. We can start,
But the more time that she's got to react,
yes, exactly.
Right.
Working
Okay.
down to the wire then.
Right.
The last rift is opening where the first one began,
Correct.
on that border.
Be where the weakest point is.
Yes, I think that is how it goes. It is also rather poetic for you and I, isn't it, Vanya?
I think I will only start thinking of poetry once the Ridikita is dead. I will be of no use on that battlefield if it is still alive. I still hear it in my mind.
And how many days do we have left to be able to teleport to Poitosco to travel?
Would travel to get to the battlefield. You would wish to go to Valaya
Well,
or Sandemia, possibly.
no, I think the question was how many days until we can safely teleport. So
It's evening now. Go to sleep. You got 2 full days.
yeah, we have two days until we can safely teleport.
Sorry.
So I
Yes,
can.
ma'am.
The plan was Poitosco and then over again, because the Ridikita is on the border between Poitosco and
Yes.
the other place, isn't it?
Sandemia.
Sandemia.
Yes.
Well, I'm not entirely sure I need anything for these 2 days, but we can make use of them somehow, right?
You should.
There are always
will write
always
to-
preparations you can make.
I will write to my father and I will also contact Azrael.
Leave it for a few days until we've dealt with the renegades. We don't
Yes.
want to play our hand to her.
Let's not get everybody all worked up. We have 2 weeks, over 2 weeks yet.
And I would also say do not send a letter. If you're going to go in person. Whatever you say it to somebody. Do not send a letter. Letters can be intercepted, can be changed, I
Misinterpreted.
might sound paranoid, but
I can send messages. This is whilst not totally secure, a lot more secure.
Yeah.
Like, if we can get word to Azrael, he will come to us. And
I can message him.
explain everything.
I've met him. I know who he is.
I would say leave it, let the focus on Ridigita, kill that, then we'll deal with arrangements.
Well,
Yes, as soon as we've dealt with the Vidigita, we can head back to Pytoska. We're just there, and then you can speak to your family.
will the Onenians have time to get there? Will we be able to use teleporters to assist with that? Or will they have to make their own way? Because that will require time, if that's the case.
They'll have to make their own way, won't they?
It is not an easy journey by foot. There's either mountains or tunnels to go through. The council will have to help with teleporting.
There's also a diplomatic problem. To be marching an army along the border of Valaya and Sandemia. It is,
Sorry. Why do we need an army at that point?
We don't.
that is true.
We need
We don't
to
need the Athenian
to bring
army.
Drakoto with us. Now, if somebody could suggest any other allies that we could bring along with us, then that's fine. But I think raising armies with nothing to fight seems a little strange.
I think it was more
Also
to do
quite-
with protecting the ritual side, just in case.
Right.
Because
If
if we
Contarara sends forces against us, then
step through, we leave whoever's left behind on their own to
Exactly.
deal with when the forces are sent against us. So
It's
having a
unfortunate
few
we do
people
not
there
have-
that can support would be ideal, but not too many.
if you can get Chikoto and Seti having an immortal warrior and an ancient dragon on your side,
I
that
think
would be
That's probably all
that
we
may
need.
be sufficient.
I think putting non-magical soldiers. I mean, no offense to your people, Sasha, but they have proven very brave. But they have also proven almost useless in the face of magical creatures.
They have suffered many losses in the
And they
face of
have.
the
I don't think it's
golems
fair
that,
to ask
burning.
them to put themselves in danger again.
I mean,
I see what you're saying, but at the same time,
I
if
think.
this is successful, they do not live anyway.
Well,
if we're successful, they do live.
yes. If we're
fail,
successful,
everyone does.
yeah.
That's what I mean. If we fail, they're dead anyway.
Yes, but where would
Right,
they rather
so-
die? At home with their loved ones, or in a foreign field?
Depends
So-
which of them you ask.
Yes. I mean,
What matters, Sasha, what matters is that we get into the Divine Realm.
yes.
It is from there that we will prevent this from happening.
Their army's better
This-
than being home to look after their people.
Quite. Now we alert them,
Therefore-
certainly. But as far as asking them to travel a difficult, dangerous journey to an almost certain death, I think is not right. This is not a thing that we should be doing.
As you see fit.
I mean, by all
Question
means,
several.
your
Sorry, Chad.
your I can't remember the name. Sorry, Azrael.
That's real.
Your friend Azrael and a company of mercenaries, yes, why not? They're the sort of people that would be battle hardened and can deal with magical creatures. By all
And they pass
means.
them through the radar.
But your father and his contemporaries' armies, I think, would be better off staying home and protecting their loved ones.
So, we have Chikoto, Sete, Lermi, and Azrael down as our allies to call upon.
Correct.
Quick question, several. We'll be travelling to the Vidigita, on that border, the western part of Pytosco. If we could make it to where the rift is going to open, do you know of any way to speed up the teleportation spell to make a permanent teleportation circle there, so people can get there those 2 days beforehand quicker?
The only way I know of to create a permanent circle is
355 days, yes.
repeating it. How many? If you need to get a large number of people, you would just need to use a lot of energy in fueling those circles.
Which almost makes it pointless, because that amount of people moving to one place to do that well in the time frame of 365 days will alert attention and a lot of power. It's just a thought. I thought maybe as we're close enough I could maybe do something if you knew of a way to expedite that spell, but
not in wizard magic, but perhaps dragon magic has a way. Like I said, use your allies.
Right, okay, so I think we rest, especially yourself, Several. You do look a little worn out. So I think some rest is a good idea, and then I will message people in the morning and invite them to a party. So, unless there's anything
Quite
else...
a famous play I once saw. We're in the end game now.
So unless anybody else needs me for anything, I think I will repair to my library and get some sleep.
yes, I might send word to Seti to see if he knows of anything about this.
I'm just going to have a... And he just sort of leans back and sits on the sofa. I'm just going to rest for a moment.
I mean, you can go and take a room if you need to.
He's already asleep. Which is bizarre. I mean, he's a full-blooded elf. You've never heard of one sleeping before.
I imagine Morgrax is straight over there with a pillow and a blanket.
Yeah.
Um,
2 days then.
2 days. Quick question, DM, above table. Probably maybe a bit of retconning, it's entirely up to you, but would Seti have given me a way to contact him?
I don't see why you wouldn't have. He was the one who brought you into the group. And Mazdak could always send a message anyway.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can send messages to anybody that I know.
I've been meaning to run something past you all as well. While doing a bit of tinkering, I've realised that I can create, in the very same vein as what our friend here did, a spell storing item that will have a number of uses, and I could give it to one of you. So I was taking some, I'd like to take some advice on the spell, because I was thinking either the shield spell or a curing of the wound spell.
I believe the shield spell won't work for that creature because it takes an action to activate the item.
Oh yeah, okay, maybe not then. But I mean, I'm open to suggestions.
First, second, last spell
Should
requires
I
one
your
action.
deadliest spell and send me in to explode it?
That seems like a waste. It could. There's a lot of utilization that we could use. I could do many things, really.
I think perhaps a healing spell or
Maybe a resurrection spell.
that, or some sort of defensive spell. I'm thinking along
I've
the lines
managed.
of invisibility or
Yeah.
those sorts of things.
Well, I can do. I mean, the ones that come to mind within my repertoire are blur for some of you, or invisibility, as Nasdaq suggested, or quite simply a healing spell. I can do any of those.
Well,
As you know, I've managed to manipulate my magics with the shield spell you saw on Sasha in the first instance of dealing with that portal, that rift. Maybe I could help in some way if that's the case. Maybe you can store magic or something in it from me as a one-time only charge.
Has to be from me,
Has to be from you. Okay.
because I'm creating the art, and it has to be from me.
I would
So-
suggest a healing
Healing
spell
then.
and give the potion, the device to Bernia or Sasha, as they will be the ones taking the brunt of any damage.
You need to decide which one it's going to be. We all know Sasha doesn't need crystals, diamonds to be resurrected.
I am capable of casting healing myself.
Then Sasha, give Sasha the healing spell. Because if Bernia drops, Sasha can revive her with her healing.
My blood gives me a very small amount of healing.
I've got just the idea. Can I borrow your sword for 10-15 minutes?
Mine?
Yes.
And my sword over.
And Kroll repairs to the workshop to basically start the magical process of storing the Cure Wounds level 2 spell in the sword, which can be used.
Over the table. I've used that feature before, and I think I used it for Cure Wounds and Invisibility. That was it, because the Artificer spell is just so limited, and a lot of stuff is concentration, which becomes really tricky.
Yeah,
The item.
it is what it is. But yeah, so he will spend the next sort of like 30 minutes or so going through the spell storing process with this thing.
Right, I will bid you all good night, and I will see you in the morning. Mastek will go off to the library and curl up in his big comfy chair and go to sleep.
Yes, good night all.
And just so you know, on that talk of holding spells and things, the pearls of spell holding obviously do exist in the world and can be used if you wanted to go and get some pearls. Obviously, just the single-use tiny pearls, rather than the big nuke one that.
Yeah.
The man in our living room.
The Oppenheimer in the room, yes.
Oppenheimer in the room.
And Kroll will appear at Sasha's door about half an hour later, or in the wherever she is, with the sword. And there's a sort of like a little, almost like a little tag on the crossguard of the sword, and it's sort of got a rune on it with the initials of 10, and it'll sort of magically count down. So there's 10 uses.
And what is it? Cure wounds level 2.
Level- Yeah. And you use my spellcasting modifier, which is +5, so it'll be
So 2d8 plus 5.
3d8 plus 5. Oh no, 2d8 plus 5, you're right, yeah.
If we're all going to sleep just above table, guys, is there anything anybody needs to do? Like, in my mind, is set that, like, I've got everything. We've done shopping episodes the past couple of times.
It's one of those things where after we've dealt with the Ridigator, there might be some stuff.
Yeah.
I need to go back and see the Scalebanes,
As
because I need to see if they've got the gauntlets for me to copy.
as Martin said, if there's anything we want or need in the build-up, then we should ask and we can arrange it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I'm the only thing I would probably need is because there's going to be a lot of teleporting, I think, to get us from A to B quickly in between Ridigita and end of the world scenario. So yeah, just a couple of things, but yeah.
Yeah, so I suppose above table, I'll just let you know my expectation was that we finished today's session with you kind of ready to face the Ridigator. So I'm not expecting roleplay for 2 whole days. But like that's kind of what I'm expecting these 2 days up until the point where you're out, and we're not going to start that fight today. I want to give you a 3-week break before we get to that.
Just enough time for us all to forget what we're doing and how we play our characters.
Yep.
Exactly that. Yes. Yes. No. We'll keep going because DM burnout's definitely not a thing.
But,
But yes, in that time between end of Ridigita, whoever survives that fight, and when that portal opens, or the 2 days up to that, that's kind of an opportunity I want you guys to sort of throw in personal missions that you want to achieve, whether it's forging your own weapon or completing some backstory stuff we've not managed to get to. Sorry, Carl.
To be honest, in like above table, like from a character point of view, he's kind of in the mindset that everything else has to take precedence, and he needs to fix things first before he's got other things to do. However, he may make one sojourn because he needs a little bit of help with a certain item.
My plan. Okay, we're very much above table here, but my plan for last session. Well, I think you missed this bit, but the first lines of my plan for this session simply says disregard previous session plan. Because my plan was to have you, for reasons or another, have to just get out of the city now and get on a boat to start making your way towards the Ridigita rather than sitting and waiting for 3 days. And
I said that last session.
Yeah, well, it didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way. But yes, the boat was going to head to Belfast Land, and we was going to give you an opportunity to pick up that. It just keeps not working.
Yeah, it's fine. Obviously, story goes where story goes.
Of course, yeah. But you'll have a couple of weeks if you want to go alone or take someone or whatever with you.
Find a friend.
Find a friend, yeah. Just take Sasha with you, you'll be fine.
She's very good at talking.
very diplomatic.
As we're above table, can somebody just remind me what the kazoo does? Because all I've written down in my inventory is kazoo.
I was about to say it makes people slap you, but no.
Oh,
intimidation
bloody!
moves.
Sasha's got the gloves of slapping. Why do I keep forgetting to get
Should
you
have
to
her slap
slap
everyone.
people? The kazoo one, when played, gives you a boost to intimidation
Yeah.
for an
Makes you
hour.
extra intimidating.
Yeah, because kazoos are intimidating instruments.
Yes, they are.
I'll see if I can dig out what the boost was. Oh, yeah, I've got that in my
I
history.
think I wrote it down. Hang on, let's have a look.
+2.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, for 10 minutes. When this kazoo is played, it grants a +2 to intimidation checks for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's called the Kazoo of Intimidation. Or
Wow.
just a kazoo. Okay. So yeah, Mazdak is going to go to sleep. He's
So, yeah, and once Carl's done the thing with Sasha's sword and giving it back, he will then sort of the power map that he's basically pulled out for this teleporter, because it should be based on weave structure. He's going to try and factor that into the plans that he's making for those gloves for Mazdak. And then he's just going to try and further using that power dynamic, and then he's going to run his ideas past Mazdak and Severill tomorrow. And then
Just a
get
reminder
there.
that Mazdak has the wand of slightly helpful things.
I do.
You do.
And it's slightly
What's on
helpful.
my notes?
You just try and use it every session and see what you get. I mean, it can serve up breakfast or anything.
I don't have that written down in my inventory. Wand of helpfulness. Are you sure that it was given to me?
That's what I've got written down.
Because normally I put
Yeah,
things.
but it says Maz next to it in
We
brackets.
might have sold it.
Yeah, I don't. I always write these things down in my inventory if I have them, and that is not in my inventory. So,
Oh, there's a baby.
teeny baby.
I'll also throw that in there. You definitely had that, Chaz, so if I throw that in there, that will give you the details. Well, actually, delete, Chaz, you can have it especially sent just to you, so we don't spoil all the fun surprises on it.
Oh, you put it in my inventory or message me?
No, I've just pasted it into a message, in a
Okay.
message to you.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Sorry, Martin, I kind of just railroaded that with above table talk.
No, it's fine. I think we're
I don't have it. I don't have it on D&D Beyond, so yeah, just stick it as a custom item and keep the keep the notes for it.
cool. Thank you.
There's a picture of my notes so you can see for yourselves what I've written down.
So yes, I presume everyone heads off to bed.
Oui,
Yep.
oui.
And when you wake up in the morning, you realise you're still in the same day that you were in yesterday. No, you wake up and whoever's up first and goes downstairs still sees several asleep on the sofa.
I
Wouldn't
will
it
just-
be a real bummer if you were granted eternal life and that just meant living the same day again and again and again every day for eternity?
That'd be pretty
Yep.
shit.
That would be a good thing for a genie to give out, wouldn't it? Eternal life.
Isn't that basically what the Andy Samberg movie is? Pacific something or other.
Oh, I love that film. That film's great.
That seems like a boon that Baylor would give out.
I
It's
mean,
just
possibly.
but,
Depends on what the day,
So,
what
like-
happens in the day, though. I suppose.
experiment.
Palm Beach or something, is it?
Palm Beach, that's it. Yes.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Back to D&D. Sorry. Several.
Many.
even
point.
more.
I'm just sitting in that living room waiting for him to wake up.
Has there ever? Do any of us know? I'm asking on behalf of Atan, of any elf exerting that much energy that they have actually slept and not just meditated.
Make a history check. See if you've ever heard or read about it.
Oh, that's not bad. Natural 17 for an 18.
Okay. So it has been said that on occasions, I mean, obviously you would know that elves just sort of get by off 4 hours of meditation in a day, and they can keep going. But in extremely rare cases, when an elf just doesn't take that meditation time for an extended period, they can end up actually sleeping.
Yeah.
It's only been sort of once or twice it's ever been sort of recorded in your circles.
And I'm assuming like a sleeping dog, don't just in case.
It's like a sleepwalker. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'm sure Morgax will obviously be making sure that they're
Tucking
comfy.
him in and
Yeah.
reading him a bedtime story and
Making sure his neck's not sleeping like this so he wakes up with a crimped neck. Or is that just
yeah.
me that happens to?
No, that's not just you.
It's humans. Humans are just shit, aren't we?
Yeah.
What is this biology?
the Valyrian Empire despises all humans.
Yeah, it's less just humans are shit. It's more humans reach a certain age and then everything just goes downhill.
Tell me about it. I feel like I'm on a toboggan at the moment.
Feel the
And-
rhythm. Feel the rhyme.
Thanks.
Yeah. I think. I think Atan would have some like breakfast, and would probably then be like, just popping into town and just getting some supplies for potential more teleport spells. And I might just pop to the park again and see if I can increase my shield capability.
I'm going to meditate and practice. You need to be on top form for what we are going to deal with.
Yes, I think perhaps I should go down to the lab and do some more practice down there.
Before you, or after you go, Nasdaq, could you take a look at these? Well, when you come back, I'll keep holding them for now. The plans for the gloves that I wanted to make for you to help you with the weave manipulation. I had to do a bit of looking into the power grid for the thing in the lab. And I believe I might be able to use how that was routed to our advantage with gloves.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll go and do a couple of hours, and then I'll pop back. So I will. Oh, I don't have the key for the lab.
That's true.
Several.
Several's asleep. Several's asleep on the sofa, and he's got one.
I'm just going to take it.
Do a I don't know. Do an investigation check to see if you can find it first.
Okay.
Come on, natural one, down the pants. Full circle here, full circle.
19.
Damn it.
That's just the investigation check, right?
Yeah. So It's not anywhere obvious, but he's got what looks like a sort of concealed bag of holding that's stitched inside his jacket pocket.
Gotcha. Oh, I'm in too much. Do I wake him up and ask for it, or I just take it? I think Mazdak would try and wake him up. Or would it? It'd be funnier to just try and take it. Go on, I would try and take it.
For the content, as the kids say.
Yeah.
I was like thinking, oh, he's busy. I'll just do it for him.
Yeah. I will.
I did do an actual dice roll as well, Chaz, because that's how I did mine as well. Come on.
For what? Sorry.
If it's a sleight of hand check.
Well,
We've
yes,
got
if
a
you're
date.
going to try and take it, it will be a sleight of hand check.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm just sort of looking here for 1 second. Okay, can I get my unseen servant to do it for me? I mean, I'll happily accept the no if it's a no.
They can certainly try.
Okay, I'll do a slight
Counterspell.
hand check for. You're going to counterspell my unseen servant.
I only want to do it so you have to make the roll, so it's your hand what does it if you roll a natural one. So no, I don't. I
Okay,
don't do
pat them in the
counterspell.
face.
I'll do it. I'll do it myself then.
No, you don't
Okay.
have to play with. Roll again.
I'm just loading up several stat blocks. I know what spells he's got available.
Well, I rolled a 9.
Yeah, this servant. I was gonna say, strange. I was gonna say I just need to look up unseen servant, but there it is staring at me on several's thing. Yeah, there's no like.
There's no real
Yeah.
stats on it, so I was just using mine.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's okay. So as the servant sort of reaches in just to try and grab it, the sleeping several just sort of goes, and a firebolt just disintegrates the servant.
Oh, you're awake! Fantastic. Could I have the key to the laboratory, please?
What on earth am I doing here?
You were very exhausted, so slept.
Who attacked me?
I did. I was just trying to get the key out of your pocket without waking you. You seemed very exhausted.
I'm much better now. And he stands up in his normal straight posture.
Okay, great.
You should have. Do not take anything from me.
Okay. I'll take the key and... Right, I'll be back in a couple of hours. And I will head to the lab.
Oh, I could have totally done an infinite handkerchief coming out of his.
Bag of holding. Awesome. Yeah, I will head off to the lab.
Basically, pulled out like this, but he got like a little hand on the top that was doing this, with another little hand on top that was doing this.
Fractal flip-offs.
So yeah, I will spend 3-4 hours just manipulating the weave, practicing, so that I can get. So it basically comes as second nature for me to reach for the weave and make it do something.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, obviously we're burning through spell slots doing that, but
Yeah.
you're not going to need them, so we
Well,
don't need to
I'll-
track it.
Okay. I was going to say I'll mark it off, but Yeah.
Are you sure you're all right, Several?
I obviously feel much better now.
You
Sasha's
were-
in the room. She's probably like looking between the two of them, trying to see if they look the same. Not very conspicuously.
Sleep is curious. Do you sleep?
Yes. You seemed entirely exhausted.
I've been working for 3 days non-stop.
It's good to see you wanting to right the wrongs that you have done.
I do not want the world to be destroyed, as I think most people would agree with.
Good. We had a glimpse into the future. If we fail. This is how we know how to deal with the Vitakita. Almost the entirety of Kantichi is gone. No wizards. Just dwarves and elves. And by elves I mean the Dark Elves, led by Renee.
A world with no libraries. A terrible thing indeed.
If you have a little bit of time, or when you feel up to it, several, I would like to run a few things past you. I've been trying to work on something for Mazdak, but I just want, you are the only other person who would be able to provide guidance.
Okay. You use half as many words. I will understand.
And he will literally, he won't use any words, he will literally lay out the plans for the, with manipulation gloves, similar to a set we had before, but using mithril and a gem of specific size to focus.
He sort of stares at it, intrigued, and then his face sort of switches to, oh yeah, and he sort of takes the paper and he pulls out a quill from his inner jacket pocket, and he just sort of makes some little notes on this. Just does a bit of notation down the side. You'll probably need to translate what he's written. Given the work that I've seen Mazdak doing, I believe I understand how he's doing it, and if you were trying to interface that with some sort of device, you would need your capacitor to be picking up from their insert jargon words here.
Ion flux millimeter.
And then Carl basically pointed out that he was planning on having the power conduit go through sort of the fingers to allow him to manipulate, more
Yes.
the minutiae and things like that, and yeah.
If you're going to do that,
everybody else in the
do
room.
loop that with a gem on the end of each finger so that it can charge and power each of them separately. Make sure that the length of wire is the same so that the energy is reaching the tips of each finger at the same time. So you may need to weave it somewhat around the smaller fingers.
Yes.
I know. I'm good. I've been doing this for 1,000 years.
I mean, I would. Yeah. Thank you. I need to get to work. Gem preference. I was thinking sapphire, maybe.
Yes, probably your best bet. Make sure the wiring is copper also.
Would mithril work?
Mithril is going to give you the best results for the casing for the gems, but the actual wiring is better off in copper.
So if I do the copper core with the casing, yeah, I got it. Crawley's excited. You haven't seen him this excited, except when he saw the arcane cannon.
Sasha, is there something wrong with my face? You keep staring.
No?
Lies and propaganda.
Well, I should be off. If nobody's going to offer me a beverage, then I shall go and pursue my own.
Rex would probably have provided him with breakfast,
Yeah.
a blanket,
Fair
beverage.
Fair point. And
Yeah.
he says that in his normal sort of condescending way. Has a side eye, actually a plate of pastries next to him and a fresh coffee. Ignores it like no one's offered it. I will be in touch.
Yes, as will we.
As he opens the door, you hear him say, "Ah, Lucrezia. Good morning. I was just leaving."
Hearing that, I'll go up and get to the front door.
We'll take a quick break there, though. I think because
Righty-ho.
seems a good spot to do so.
Okay, well, have a wonderful break. Hopefully you get hydrated and or smashed out of your tiny minds, whatever, floats your boat.
Bank holiday.
Bank holiday. Do both. Yeah, let's
There's
do
my
it.
emergency news, though.
Uh-oh, now we're in trouble. And welcome back. Cheers.
Cheers. The angle of my camera makes it look like that's really tipping.
Yeah.
But yes, so we pick up several has left. Lucrezia has turned up. And I think Bernie had wandered to the door. Ah, morning.
Good morning, Lucrezia. What can we do?
You had an early visitor?
Don't let the
he's
bugs in.
Yeah. No, especially not an Ossero.
Yes.
More of a
No,
late
he-
stayer than an early visitor.
I'm already inside.
That is good, Bug. Just keep doing that. What can we do to help, Lucrezia?
I was hoping Kral was around, actually.
He is in his workshop. Can
Perfect.
show you in and see if he's available.
Actually, no, it's fine. Well, I'll go down. Follow you, yeah. Follows you in. Wanders down the steps.
Graal, you have a visitor.
Morning.
Right. He's feverishly working away.
Actually, Sasha, are you around?
Yeah.
Is it what I think it is?
I think so.
I've got just the thing. So he basically rushes upstairs with her, and he's got the levitate spell ready.
Well, she sort of finds a good open space in the workshop, takes off a little like side bag and pops it on the floor, and the bag sort of stretches quite open in the opening. I sort of need Sasha to reach in.
Okay.
I mean, consent first, sure.
You grab hold of something hard, and she sort of pulls back with the bag as you sort of try and pull it out. Just help it. Oh. God, blimey. Getting that in was a trouble on my own, let me tell you. I had to sort of go down, but they're weightless when they're in. Oh. Yeah. So this is for you. Yeah. So there were obviously a few around, and I managed to procure one for you, as requested. And thanks for playing along with the little show that we had to.
A little piece of theatre.
Quite right. So yeah. Go and do what you do with that.
Yes. Right. I have many ideas. Oh dear.
Is it alright there, or do you need me to move it somewhere for you?
Doop. Leave it right there. That's fine. I have many ideas. Not enough time. Many ideas. Not enough goddamn time.
Yeah. Time's kind of the name of the game at the moment, isn't it?
Right.
So
Leave
I
it
hope
with me.
everything-
Do you need anything removed?
I really appreciate this, Lucrezia. We will make great use of this.
Good. And if you by any way produce or mass produce some sort of I don't know, magic reflecting shield or something out of this, then
I'll sling
just
it
send a
to
little something my way, okay? You can make a lot of money if you can get that working.
you.
Not
Do you need me
doing.
for anything else, or
I don't think so. Thank you, Sasha. Or your help's always appreciated.
very well?
So I hope everything's going okay
Well,
with the grander scheme of things, not just your personal projects.
I mean,
We have our plans in place.
Okay.
and we'll discuss it when we come back from dealing with the Red Geeks. You're a part of those plans, so you don't matter.
Okay, yeah, I'll do whatever I can to help. And something I've been meaning to say, that if you need any more capital, let's say, to get the job done, then just come and speak to me. I know we've had you on your base salary, your daily rate, but if you need any sort of bonuses or anything.
I wouldn't mind in advance. I would quite like to get my hands on one of those giant belts.
Okay.
Just flex my left arm.
Okay.
Good.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about being as strong as a giant.
I appreciate the this, but right now I need to pop into town because I need to go and get a few sapphires of a certain size and some copper wire. And yeah, so
Don't let me stop you.
and he will he basically vibrating. He's so excited that he can complete this project.
Never get in the way of a tinkerer and their projects.
It's like getting away with a wizard and his books. Or a barbarian and her foe.
Quite right.
You like a foe, do you? I like a foe. Nice and hot.
Spicy soup.
Yeah.
May I, if I was to head down to the Scalebane premises, pay them my part and possibly forward on the remaining to you?
How much do you need?
$70 billion.
Which belt was it? you were trying to get at?
I can't remember.
Was it the same tier as mine for 23 string?
Yeah.
It was 2,500 gold.
That there, yeah. That should have been the same.
Yeah, I was going to go with the Frost Giant one, I believe.
Yeah.
About 1,400.
1,400. Okay. Yeah, I think I can do that.
By all means, I'm more than happy to pay it back if we survive the end of the world.
If we survive the end of the world, then we've only got you guys to thank for it. So I think 1,400 from the Wizard Council is a reasonable advance. Let me see.
Do I need some kind of notary?
She reaches. She sort of grabs the Nosero bag and rummages in the front pocket of that. Pulls out just a slip. Just writes on it. Just give that to the whoever you deal with, Tharahilda probably. Yeah, it's an IOU from the council, basically.
Much appreciated.
Just the 1,400 though. Don't go stepping that up and leaving me with thousands.
I would never.
I trust you. Is there anyone else in your party that might want a similar advance or bonus? Let's just call it a bonus.
Above table, DM. Thinking like long game if we are to fight deities. I know you had like the list of the belts.
Yep.
For everything. If potentially 2 weeks is enough time, how much would a legacy item set you back.
What sort of legacy item?
Maybe something which reflects spells back to people who cast them at you. Considering we're going against gods.
Kral might be working on that.
I was going to say, sounds like
Yeah.
something Kral's going to be working on
That's
at some point.
absolutely what Kral's building now.
Oh, I thought he was going to be working like on armor, which I can't really wear. But if it's going to be anything, then
There's 2 people in this party that can wear heavy armor, which are Bernia and Morgrax, and I think they're both pretty good with what they've got.
I can wear
And-
it.
Yeah, but you lose your benefits and you're angry.
I can wear it. I can't move, but I can wear it.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, if anyone does want anything or thinks of anything, anyone that's here or not here, let me know before, 2 days, because I know you're going off then. And if there's anything after that when you get back, then yeah, let me know as well. Okay, well, yeah, I'll catch up with you soon. And she wanders off. So many things. So, Kral and Sasha heading to.
I'm going to Scalvanes. I don't know if anybody else is.
Oh yeah, I'll be holding your hand or trying to.
What are you doing?
I was just checking to see it wasn't got blood under your fingernails. Do you think that lady would let me get more of my shield upgraded as well on then?
You should have said something before she left.
Could have done.
How much will it cost?
Don't know, I'll have to ask when I get there. I mean, they did make it, so it shouldn't be that expensive to make it a bit better.
So you've got a blazing enchantment on your shield.
Blazing shield +1 I have.
Okay. It's 1,000 to go to +2,
There you go.
or 5,000 to go to +3.
Oh, I can't do 5,000. No, I don't think Lucretia would be very happy with that. I think 1,000 will do.
Well, you better go and catch her and ask if it's okay.
Do you know where she is?
She's just left. Probably heading back to the Mages Council.
All right, I'll go racing after her on my broom. No, my shillelagh. Zooming through the air.
Hi, Shillelagh.
Yeah, you can catch up with her. Oh, Bug.
Lucretia, you know your upgrade stuff for fight job. Can I do my shield thing?
Less frantic for me.
Oh, sorry, I'm out of breath. All this fast flying.
You were on a broom. How did you get out of breath on a broom?
Oh, it's the wind is so fast it sort of takes your breath away.
Oh, right, okay.
Right. So you know how lovely. I mean, Sasha has gone to get her thing made, belt made.
Yeah.
And you've said you can use it as an advance. And I was wondering if I could also get my shield done at the same time to make it better for the fight.
Oh, okay, I see.
1,000 gold is what they said. Yeah. So it's cheaper.
I've got some bookkeeping to do when I get back, and she pulls out another check as such. There you go. That's good for 1,000 gold from the council.
Thank you. And I'll just fill away on my shillelagh again. My shillelagh. I can't do that out of my head. No.
It's impossible.
yeah, I would have left at the same time if like Kral and Sasha were leaving when Bug flew off.
Ball's gone. Kral literally got really excited and left.
I regret nothing.
I would just like to go somewhere to pick up another couple of
Sorry, I just had a picture of Kral on his back, like the blue turtle from Mario Kart.
Yeah, just another sort of like couple of hundred worth of rare inks just for the teleportation spell, just in
Yeah.
case we pop about.
No problem.
Yeah, and then I would have gone to the park, the open ground, just to see if I can hone my adaptation with my sorcerer magic with the shield spell.
Okay, so what's it doing at the moment?
So at the moment,
In the pinch, as a reaction, you can cast a wide shield.
yeah, in
around.
immediate surroundings within 15 foot of the caster gain effects of evasion. The sorcerer casting the shield must use one sortie point for each protected creature. So that's only on obviously like dex saving throws.
Yeah.
So my mind was either going that we keep it like that, but I maybe increase the distance, or I keep the distance the same and increase the effects that it helps with.
Yeah. Okay. Which would you rather do?
I think for potentially what we're going up against, it would be the effects of what it, as in like the saving throws it does. So it's only dex. So maybe a multiple saving throws for it would benefit people more. So then I could use it more often if I could.
Okay. Which saving throw would you like to include in this? Charisma? Intelligence? They're often used, aren't they?
I feel like whichever one I pick, you're going to go for the complete opposite to cast against us.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't throw a load of fire creatures against a party of fire wielders.
I would potentially go Constitution, knowing that
That
most
would be
people-
my choice as well, I think.
Yeah.
Wisdom would be another top choice.
What would I know what the party would benefit most from?
Ooh,
See,
that's...
knowing that like Bug and Mazdak and Morgrax are casters, they're all slightly different, aren't they, in the way they lean to what they need.
In that case, probably Constitution, so you can give people a boost to concentration checks. If there's a fireball that hits a group, you can give people a better chance of keeping concentration.
Yeah.
Or
Would that include Dex? As we're talking about this, would that include Dexterity and Constitution for that one, for whoever I shield with that?
Ooh.
If we're increasing the ability for it, or would it? I would have to choose one at the time, so they either take the fire damage or
You could do both at the same time, but the cost would then be two sorcery
sorcery
points per person.
Yeah, I think I'll go for Constitution. Just for the fact that are we all going to be together? Potentially not. So, yeah.
Okay. So while you're practicing, just give me a general Arcana check as you're running through things.
Natural 20. Wow.
Maybe.
Nice.
Okay. What's the total?
25.
Excellent. Okay, so you go and spend a few hours.
Yeah.
Practicing, and with your knowledge of how you spent several days trying to work out how to do this shield spell, it comes pretty naturally for you just to be able to turn on extra protective stuff. So you figure that out within the session. So whatever you've got on your character sheet, update it to include con saves. And I'll we'll keep it the same as like an evasion type ability, so that I need to. Will that work with? I suppose. How's that working? If it's like a Constitution save to avoid damage, then the evasion stuff works to halve the damage or negate the damage. But yeah, it doesn't really work. I'll figure something out. Yeah. I need to do it now. But yeah, you will upgrade that ability you've been working on to work with Constitution as well.
Marvelous. Cool. Thank you.
Kral, you get to the shops first.
Right.
You head into Scalbane's.
Yes.
Okay.
Because he said it would take him about a day to get hold of a pair of gauntlets for me to look
Yeah.
at.
Morning, Kral.
Oh yeah.
You're excited.
I am close to finishing a project, and I'm
Okay, great.
So, did you manage to get a hold of those gauntlets for me to look at?
I have. Yep.
Bless you.
Jeez. I was expecting you to come by, so I kept it under the counter right here. There you go, gauntlets.
Yeah.
I want them back, mate.
Mr. Crowell.
I mean, if you don't mind, I'm gonna move over to the side over there, still in here, and then I'll just do what I need to do. If that's
Okay, fine. Yeah, I was gonna let you take them back over as long as you
it
got
probably
back.
take me I think it probably take me about an hour, but I just need to study them for a little bit, and then I'm good to go.
If you want to go back into the workshop,
If y'all don't mind, that'd be.
that's fine. Friend of the shop, and yeah, you and your group, we've been good customers, good folk.
I believe that some of them might be here shortly. But,
Okay.
yeah. I'm gonna go do what I need to do. Thank you again.
Okay. Sasha and Bug turn up. Carl said you'd be along soon.
Oh,
Yes.
What can I do you for?
Lucrezia has given us an advance of sorts. And this
Okay.
is for approximately 1,400 gold. So I can
We don't accept this here. I'm really joking. No, that's fine. I can claim that back with the council.
I was hoping to gather one of those giant belts. Specifically
Right.
the frost one, if that's.
Frost giant. Yeah. Same as your friend.
Well, she
Okay.
had the stone giant, I believe.
Okay. Right. Okay.
That's for 1,400.
Yep.
I don't know if you would be willing to add this as part of the trade, but I have projecting vampiric greatsword +1 that I have no longer have a use for since I have my other greatsword.
Right. A projecting. Oh, you got some good enchantments on that.
Well, indeed. The vampiric part was from your good self, of course.
Nice. Yeah, well, I can be assured it's good work then. So it's +1 vampiric.
Yeah, it's the +1 vampiric, and it's projecting, so that means I can hit from 10 feet away rather than 5 feet, I believe.
Right. So it's +1 projecting. You know you can get those to go up to like +3.
I have mine is a +2 of your vampiric on a +2 greatsword. So
All right. Nice. Okay. So if we've got that and
I
that,
just thought maybe we could use it as part of the trade.
that, yeah. Well, one of those would be. I'll give you about 500 for that.
I will gratefully accept.
Okay.
So then I
So
will
then
pay the
you're about
600.
600. Right. Okay, good job I got a couple of those in when you guys started asking about them.
Well, I always knew I'd be back for one as soon as I could afford it, and then when Lucrezia spoke about possibly giving us a bonus / advance, I took my opportunity and went with it.
Might as well. Might as well. You gotta spend money to make money or something.
Talking about that, I've got one here too, and I'll leave my little chitty. Yes, brilliant shield you made me. Can you upgrade it?
Of course I can. Okay, what we got here then? Blazing enchantment.
Yep.
Gives it a little flick and there's a little spark of flame, like a little solar flare off the surface. Nice. Good work. I see. My work.
Yep.
Yeah, and you want that as a second stage enchantment.
Excellent.
Okay. I can certainly do that. 1,000 gold.
Here you
Take
go.
me a few days. Take me 4 days to do that.
Oh, you're not making it any quicker. We've got to sort of go away and have a massive big fight to save the world in 2 days' time.
2 days.
Yep.
If I don't like to ask this of you guys because you are good customers, but if you could put a little more money up front, because I'll have to tuck myself away for a couple of days to make sure it gets done, and that means I can't do other business.
How much more money are you talking?
If I need to get that done within 2 days, an extra 400, and I can do it in 2 days.
All right. And I'll give him 400 out of my pocket.
Okay. Right, you are. Now, I can't do anything more for you guys in the next couple of days, so if you've got any more jobs, then you'll have to wait, okay?
No problem.
Did I gain from that, sorry, DM out of character, that the belt is ready in there?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Right. Okay, I'll go start that in a minute. Let me just get your belt. And she wanders off around the corner. Crow, are you getting on all right? Silence as he's busy. He's doing all right. The belt comes back. Here you go. One big belt.
Thank you.
Even stronger than you were before.
Indeed.
You.
She's a maid. She.
I mean, I was able to bench press Bug before, but I could probably bench press Crow now.
Oh, that gives me a tingle just thinking about it. Not the crowl bit, of course, but you know what I mean.
Bug is a sub, confirmed. Okay, well, yeah. I'll when Carl's done, I'll send it back your way. He's a bit busy at the moment in the shop.
Yes, he does tend to focus in when he has a project in mind.
I could see as soon as he walked in the door, I knew he was under something.
I think short of beating him around the head with something, you won't get a reaction otherwise. Even then, I think it's a bit hit and
Maybe,
miss.
maybe not. Okay, right.
If
So,
he's here
yeah.
for a while, just make sure he eats and drinks something.
I will.
Thank
That's
you.
fine. I think maybe when you guys are all retired, I might see if he wants to come and work here, because I've seen his work. He's pretty good.
He ain't bad.
So yeah,
Thank you.
You can wander off. I can stay there doing work. I can read secret messages. So, is there anything else going on?
I wanted to go with Morgrax, and I was hoping Morgrax would be here, but bloody hell, Morgrax!
Yeah, because they were going to go to the Temple of Amriel, weren't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Morgrax.
Yes, unfortunately, Morgrax is.
So
out
maybe
of-
we can put
We
that
can
in.
come back and insert that in next week. I'm fine with that.
Next time.
Next time, yes, of course. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. I'll come back to that. So, yes, you can wrap up the rest of the day, Kroll. You can finish off your hour's work there, leave the gauntlets, come back home.
Yeah, so after he's done that, he will then go to the gem shop and obtain the 10 small gems and 2 large ones that he's going to need to make the initial set of gloves. Or he'll at least put the order in ready to collect when we dealt with the Rudigita. If that's
Yeah.
necessary.
I think you can get what you need now.
Cool.
What was it you were getting?
So he needs some more sapphires that are the size of the fingertip. So he's going to need sort of 10 of those initially, and then sort of a larger gem for the back of the for the palm of the gloves, and then he will also buy some copper wire from Scalebanes while he's there.
Yeah. That's fine. So, if you're getting all of that, let's say, just looking at prices of things.
I have
Yeah,
1400 gold at the moment.
the sapphires aren't cheap, so probably for everything you need for all of that, about 800.
Yeah, that's fine. He's happy to drop that much, just obviously to get what he needs, because he knows that he can fabricate the rest within the next day to potentially put things together ready for Mazdak to take them.
Yeah.
Do the next fight. And then obviously if they are a success and they do work, he can probably then replicate said gloves for himself and Atan for the final battle.
Cool. Yeah, but you two are actually going to spend some time like practicing or learning from Mazdak how to do it.
Yeah.
You wouldn't just be able to put the gloves on and then
No,
just
But obviously it will help us with a little bit of
yeah.
the heavy lifting, as it were, once we get the basics down.
Speaking of, I think Mazdak spends 4 hours just practicing and trying to subtly manipulate the weave, not by brute force it, but just sort of encourage things to move on their own way. He's trying to get himself to a place where he can almost, without thinking, just do something and change how the weave is reacting with something.
Okay.
So I don't know if you want me to roll for that or
Yeah, make a weave manipulation check and we'll see
okay.
how we do with that.
That's a 26.
Yeah. You're really dialing in on how just to do this. It's becoming second nature.
My plan is to get to a stage where I can literally do it almost without thinking, just reach out and do something.
Yeah.
But I think overall, what's going to happen is when I'm teaching the other two and using these gloves, I want to get Mazdak to a stage where he's now an expert.
Yeah.
I'm angling to get my school,
I know.
my roll up. So yeah, that's what the plan is, to spend the whole time just doing this and just teaching those two the basics of how to reach out with your mind, see the weave, because that's the important part. Is being able to see that mesh and move a node in that mesh to make it and make that connection. I mean, Kral's probably going to be quite good at it because he can see connections, and I think Atan will see it from a different way because of his natural affinity for magic, and I think they'll both probably come from it from completely different angles and have probably completely different results. But I wanted them to grasp the basics, to be able to see that weave, to move the nodes and stretch and just manipulate the weave enough that they understand the basic part of it. And I think, I don't know if you want me to make a teaching role and them to make a learning role, or what you want to do with it.
Is Carl going to make some weave D glasses?
That would be awesome.
Are you going to get to the teaching now, or in these 2 days?
Indeed, yeah. In these 2
Okay.
days, I'm going to spend most of the day working on myself to get it so it's like that, and then spend the rest of the next day teaching those two the basics so they can grasp the weave, what it means, and how to move it, and what the effects are. Because that's the dangerous bit. If you let it go too quickly, or if you try and change something that's going to basically twist your brain out of your ear.
Someone immediately rolls a natural one and opens up a wormhole to the hells.
Yeah.
Or accidentally releases the God of Time and the world ends.
Yeah. That too.
Maybe I need to write like D100 list of all the possibilities. And on a natural one, we consult the list. Wild magic style.
Cool.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, to go chronologically, which is odd for this campaign. Mazdak, you spend your 4 hours just practicing. You're doing really well. It's becoming really natural for you just to do things. You're seeing it all. You kind of get in this headspace where you see the world as this mesh, and you can just sort of pull it like little grips. You can just tweak bits.
Oh, we lost Dan.
He tried to teleport.
Yeah.
And he's gone back in time. Yeah, once you've finished with that, you can head home. Kral is down in the workshop. Atan's just come back from the park. So I'm just riding his bike around the park.
Yeah. Tricycle, is it?
Look at me, Dad, I can do it!
Crash.
I took stabilizers off, I did.
Okay. So yes, and I will sit and take some time to explain, before we do anything, I would explain how I see it, and then try and sort of impart to them the dangers, but also the creative possibilities with it. So yeah, like I say, if you want me to make a roll of something to teach.
Yeah, do it. I was thinking about what your sort of teaching check. It feels like a charisma-y type thing. We can call it persuasion. That's you eloquently explaining something. So make a persuasion check.
22.
22, nice. It's sinking in. Mazdak is taking the time to explain things clearly, from basics exactly how he sees it when he does it, and it in some way makes sense to you both, even though as Chaz had said, it's going to work out slightly different for both of you how you did it. So what do you do with that?
Yeah,
Can you
try
do
and
it?
try and take it in, and knowing that I'll be the one who definitely sees it a little bit differently.
Let's just have both of you make an intelligence check to see at advantage because of the good roll from Mazdak.
Would this just be straight intelligence or Arcana?
Let's just call it intelligence at the moment.
Okay. 21.
Bob on the money for me, 21.
Nice.
Nice. Excellent. 2 perfect students you've got here, Mazdak.
Yes.
Senpai
Now
Mazdak.
try and teach Bernia and Sasha.
And Bud.
And Bug.
No.
Yeah, Bud.
Mazdak will go
Folks
back
already
into...
been distracted by a candle. Yeah. So
Sweet.
the theory makes sense. You understand the practicalities of it and the dangers of it. Are you going to give it a go?
Yes, for sure.
Okay, so
I will
as
be.
each
I'll
of
probably
them
be
try,
slightly more.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say I'll probably be slightly more cautious, knowing that I am looking at this from a completely different angle. For sure.
So what we'll do is we'll set up a kind of and we'll have gone to the lab for this part.
I was just going to ask that question. Yeah.
And I'll say, well, look, the chairs I broke, I smashed. So if you try to reassemble the chairs, Kral, I think that's kind of going to be a strong point for you because of your knowledge and skill at putting these together. Perhaps that's a good place for you to start. And what I'll do is, as Kral tries this, I will reach out to watch the weave as he's doing so, just in case he gets into trouble.
Okay.
Okay. So just roll a d20 for me.
14.
A 14. Okay. You kind of get an understanding of what it is. You sort of reach in, Mazdak. You can see almost his like presence there in the weave, trying to influence these things. He's kind of getting it. Not able to move anything at the moment, but he's getting it.
Yes,
Mazdak will see him with the that sort of flash that he usually gets, that he's helped Mazdak with on several occasions. That will start to form, and then he visibly makes it dissipate again because he wants to get the basics down without outside assistance first.
Nice.
I'll just encourage it. Yes, this is excellent, Kral. You could see what you need to do and how you need to move it. This is superb. I think if you continue to practice this, I think it will go very, very well. So Atan, I think for you, I think from a different perspective, you are more a different kind of creative. So more of a fiery type, so maybe slightly more destructive. So perhaps if you were to there's a chair over there that is still whole. Perhaps if you were to use the weave to try and throw it, not like telekinesis, but just to use the weave to move those nodes and sort of push it against the wall.
Yes. Okay. And I will try to do that.
Just a d20.
12.
Yeah, similar to Kral, you're in that same sort of range that Mazdak can feel your presence. You can feel you sort of trying to wrap your consciousness around the chair in order to be able to move it. It doesn't move, but you're starting to pick up what is going on.
Yes, excellent. See, what you can do is if you just push here, and Mazdak will just sort of like reach out and just push a little node and say, "Look, this node here," and you can move the whole thing. And yeah, I'll just
Sorry, Fiddy Brain. Continue.
literally, I'll just continue to sort of encourage the pair of them to keep trying and keep doing what they're doing, because I think they're going to get it, and I think it's going to be I mean,
Yeah.
in 2 days is a big ask, but to get this far, I think is great.
Yeah, you were kind of like picking up, sensing it. You were using the strength of the rift and their presence within the world, within the weave, to sort of detect them before you ever started trying to change anything.
Yeah.
So it will take a bit of time. I don't think either of them will be able to achieve anything in 2 days.
Just to point out, I was one with Mazdak who could detect them as well, could feel that, not as
You
quickly as
did,
he
didn't
did,
you? Yeah.
but I have had that little bit of pre-weave.
Okay, so let's have day 2. You can all sleep and wake up, and we don't need to.
Crow will take the morning to try and finish the gloves the rest of that night when he gets back, and then the sort of the first half of the day to try and finish the gloves if he can.
Okay. Let's do your like skill, your tinkerer's check or whatever you've got for that.
Yeah, so I've got all of my things anyway. So do I get any bonuses from multi-tool?
What is that with you? Intelligence, proficiency, and multi-tool bonus?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it'll be fine. So it's 14 on the dice again. So that will be intelligence plus 5, 19, proficiency 23, and he will use a flash of genius this time for an extra plus 5 for 28.
Okay. The construction of the gloves is complete.
And so
Yeah.
he will take them with him to the lab for Mazdak. And when he gets there, he will basically present them to him. And well, I asked Severill for some pointers. So you'll see the copper wire that comes from the central gem in the palm.
Right.
It will go to each digit, and it's the same length. There's
Oh,
small
so-
gems down.
Okay, so get at the same time. Very clever.
Yes. So the power from you will meet each fingertip at the same time. So there's a gem to help focus it on each fingertip.
I see.
You'll see on the back of the glove and around the wrist, there's sort of like a mithril casing that goes round the whole thing. It just winds around it. And you've got a bit of insulation with the mithril to protect your hands and the mechanism. I'm not sure that this will work straight away. You may have to imbue it, I guess, with a little bit of the weave magic.
Okay.
But I believe that this may help you with your overall manipulation and
I
allow
see.
you to be a bit more delicate with minute adjustments.
Right. Oh, I see. So like more of a tool to like clockmaker's tools or something.
Think of it as a scalpel rather than a sword.
I see. Yes. Good. Excellent. Okay. I'm assuming these. This is above the table. I'm assuming these are an item.
Yeah. They're so I think yes, an item will get it on your character sheet that you can wear. That when you're doing weave manipulation checks, you can add a D4 to it.
All right. Cool. Awesome stuff. That'd be great. Is that an attunement slot?
I just looked at that and thought, should it be an attunement slot?
I mean, if it is, that's fine. I don't mind. I'll unequip one of the things I have.
Yeah, I
Should
think
we just say, like, maybe we get 4 achievement slots in this campaign? You know what? Fuck it. Why not?
I do actually get 4 achievement slots.
Yep.
Yeah.
Artifice is great.
I mean, I'm quite happy to, take my hat off and wear gloves and stuff.
I looked at that and thought, oh, you're already using all 3. Oh, one of them's a hat.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm quite happy to do that. That's not a problem. So yeah, I will spend the rest of the day again going through this with them and using the gloves. I'll spend some time for myself to use the gloves to sort of attune to them and make sure that I can use them to pick the nodes and to move the weave itself using the gloves as a sort of focus. And a tool so I can make tinier, smaller adjustments, but more definite.
And he also needs you to make sure that when you feel the power reach your fingertips, that it is equal and it is the same time. Otherwise, I'm going to have to make adjustments.
Sure. I mean, I will test for that. Do you want to make a roll or some kind? So,
Yep.
what do you want me to do?
I mean, I think the roll was the 29 on his.
Oh right, okay. So there's no adjustments needed. So yeah, no, they're all. I can feel it each finger at exactly the same time. Even the thumbs. Some very clever wiring there, almost like a coil, as it were. Sort of spreading the power about equally. Very good. Very, very impressive, Carl.
Well, it's my way of contributing, I guess. And I appreciate your tutelage, Nasdaq.
It's the least I could do, and I will again spend the rest of the day trying to get them to achieve at least a little something in each of their ways to move something, to repair something.
Yeah, I would have said, I was about to say, be a bit timey-wimey here, and said before that half a morning Thrall was using to finish that off and create them, I would have definitely been with Mazdak trying
absolutely,
to attain something different, something else.
Sure.
Yeah.
So in the morning session then, Atan, give me another D20.
Can he have advantage because we're sort of a one-on-one teaching situation?
Well, he's going to get a second go.
All right.
There, so
All
I've got that anyway.
Fair enough.
Oh, well, yeah, 17 on the first.
Nice.
Okay. Cool. So, yeah, after you tried yesterday, you'd really tuned your brain in, you'd gone home, slept, gone back at it with a fresh brain. It finally twigs exactly what Mazdak's saying about your natural destructive energy and doing something. And Mazdak, you watch in the weave and in IRL. The chair that stood there, it doesn't get thrown across the room, but it just buckles slightly.
Nice.
You've
Excellent.
done something.
Superb. That's fantastic. If you keep practicing that, but obviously down here, don't do it in the wide world because, spaghettification of your brain may occur.
Always a danger. So
yeah,
Maybe that's TTRPGRL, not IRL.
but that. Okay, so now that you have achieved your first feat within weave manipulation, you have reconciled what Mazdak has been saying with what you can actually do and the way your brain needs to think about it.
Yeah.
So now you have a weave manipulation skill, which uses your skill, your spellcasting. So your charisma.
Yeah, marvelous.
And then Kral will join you once he's finished up the gloves and has that conversation with Mazdak about that. And if Kral, you want to have a go, Artan, if you want to have another go as well.
Yeah, before Kral starts, as I've kind of not to overshadow Mazdak, but to input in how he's telling it. So Kral's got like two, basically from two different sides, isn't it? Two different.
You've got too
perspectives.
many cooks.
Yeah. Just to be like, I know Mazdak uses and handles magic a lot different than I do, Kral. So this is just what I found useful from Mazdak's explanation and what I found manipulating, in case it helps, and impart that wisdom on him. Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll kind of go into the whole. I'll sort of like go, this is what I can do now, and try and
Make your roll if you're trying to show him what you can
Yeah.
do. You got your +5 on it now.
Hey,
That's 20?
natural 17 again. No, natural 17 again. So it's
Okay.
+5, 22.
22. Nice.
So, yeah, Kroll, you sit and watch as this chair goes across the floor.
That's like he's so happy. He's like, yay!
Okay, cool. I'll make my roll. I will take that. Natural 19.
Awesome.
Excellent. So, with all of that information and different ways of thinking about it, you are very used to taking on board information and putting that in a way that you can understand. Yeah, you just sort of reach in and you can feel a couple of on that broken chair, a couple of the parts, the legs just sort of move slightly as you begin to get a grasp of it. So
That's
as you
superb,
rolled over
Carl.
the DC.
That's most excellent. I think with plenty of practice, we could get all three of us up to a level where we could, really do some interesting things with weave.
And yours is intelligence. There you go. So
Yes. At the very least, I feel like Kral and I can contribute to what we're trying to achieve, and maybe even help you to sustain concentration, or at least a grip on what you may need.
Well, yes, if I explain what I'm doing and you be able to see in the weave what I'm doing, you could aid in your own ways of
I mean,
to
even
do
if we
that.
just do the gross motor, holding things steady while you
Quite.
dip and do what you need
Exactly.
to do. I mean, many hands make light work, is what I was always told.
Indeed.
right, there we go. Yeah, I was setting it to the wrong thing. Really.
Yeah, cool. I just got a bit confused when you said +5, and I was like, oh, it's higher. No, it's lower. He gave me proficiency, basically.
Well, there's a proficiency drop down, and I put that to the blank option at the top, but that just reset it to being proficient with it.
Right.
But there's a non-proficient option I should have been selecting, so that should be good. Now, there you go. So we've got that. So, yeah, you three can spend that time just working on this, practicing all of that.
Cool.
We get to the end of the time period. We're at night time. You can go to bed, and in the morning you're getting up and you're headed off to Pytusco.
Yep.
Nice.
Cool.
Is there anything
Can
anyone
I
wants to do?
can I put mine up to expert now, or is that
No, not yet.
asking a bit too much? Fair enough. No, that's fine.
It only went up to proficient during the time loop and stuff.
I know.
My plan is for you to have that in the 2-week period.
Gotcha.
You can get there.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I got mine, but I need Debbie for that, so.
Yeah. We can
Probably.
Obviously, I need to go back to the forge to get my shield. So whether I can do that tonight or could have to wait till tomorrow morning, I don't know.
you can go and do that at closing time on the night before.
As the last thing, Kral will pull out the greatsword and sort of carve away some of this metal from the back of this
Okay.
Sakalik.
Yeah.
And then I would like to try and cast Fabricate on the metal to create a suit of half plate.
Okay. Okay, that's roll me a d20, please.
This dice just loves 14s.
There's a 14. So you go to cast on this metal. You know you can manipulate materials and form them into whatever you want. As you do that, that energy that you're putting into it just shoots back off and hits the wall of the lab, of the workshop.
Yeah.
Even though the creature's dead, the defensive capabilities of that material persist, which is a positive. You know you can make use.
So, obviously, my next experiment would basically be to put it in a crucible and see if I can melt the stuff. So I'd literally just carve up as like a small sort of fist-sized piece and put it in the in a crucible and see if I can basically melt the stuff. Obviously, this is basically experimentation for what time I've got left.
Yeah. I think
He knows it's going to have to wait, but he just basically wants to see if he can actually melt the stuff.
without knowing off the top of my head the various melting points of different elements.
Obviously, if he can't get it hot enough in the workshop, he will know that if he takes some of the metal to the Scalebanes when he gets back, they will gladly help him.
That's basically where you're at. In your little crucible in your workshop, you cannot get it hot enough to melt.
Okay, cool. That's
Just
good.
point Mazdak at him and get at it and get him talking.
Rude.
Behind it with some flame. I could make it hot enough.
A red dragonborn and somebody who loves fire, and you say Mazdak.
Yeah, that was deliberate.
And
Yeah.
Mazdak smells hot air.
I would like to do one more thing as well, before like the day ends, after Mazdak has taught Kyle and myself this. And Atam would just be, Mazdak, I've been working on something. You know what I've been able to do with my shield spell?
Yes.
And
Yes.
kind of punch that out to people around me. I think I've made a few tinkers, so if you could maybe cast a spell that isn't damage dealing,
Okay.
I may be able to help you with something. And this is a bit weird, DM, but basically, I want Mazdak to cast a spell so that I can cast counter spell on him, so he gets that Constitution bonus for that spell to go through. Because it's the only thing I have to do.
Okay. I will cast grease underneath.
Yeah,
Atam.
underneath me.
Okay.
And so I basically, I cast counter spell, but as my reaction, give him my bonus from my shield for the Constitution to see if that works.
That's complicated because you're using
Where's-
counter spells as a
where's-
reaction, and your
Oh, counter spell
Shield
reaction
is
as well.
reaction.
Isn't it?
And
Oh,
Do you want me to
Where's
punch him to see if you can help him with his?
absolutely
Concentration.
fucking not.
where's the con save for that?
Yeah,
Counterspell
that's
just negates.
yeah. It would either work.
There's no
or it
con
would-
save.
Yeah, Ken Spell just basically says fuck off.
I don't know. Counter spell on my sheet, it's got con.
Yeah,
No.
that's if the counter spell is lower level than the spell. And then
that-
well,
Well, the role would be charisma for you as a sorcerer because you roll your spellcasting ability check
Yeah.
against the level of the spell plus 10.
I mean, it's only a first level
Yeah.
spell, so
Really not
I
beating
forgot
those
counter
allegations to
spell.
being the rules lawyer.
No, I forgot counter spell was a reaction. I didn't even look at the fucking timing for it.
You just ask Kral to cast Thunderwave or something.
I mean, I can
Uh,
cast Thunderstep if you like.
Yeah. Do that then.
But we need you taking
Oh,
damage.
Yeah,
yes.
That would
Yeah, yeah.
require a Constitution check to avoid the damage.
Okay. So
So if Kral casts Thunderwave at you, Mazdak,
Okay.
then
I'll cast
Atan.
Bless then.
That's why I was threatening to punch her. It was for the greater good.
I
No
do
greater
not wish to
good.
be punched.
You know, con
Thank
save
you.
in that.
Is if he's concentrating on something.
I assume you want me to concentrate on something so we can do this.
Yeah, that would
Okay.
help. Yeah.
I will cast Bless on Yumi and Kral.
And then Carl casts something like Thunderwave, if you've got it. Then I would use my reaction to shield, but with con saves.
You
Okay.
wouldn't necessarily need Mazdak concentrating for that because the Thunderwave is asking for a con
Con
save
save anyway.
Yeah, regardless.
anyway.
Okay, cool.
All right. Okay.
But so the three of you, presumably, you're still in the lab when this is happening. You
Yeah.
come up
Yeah,
with
yeah.
a convoluted system to show off your new ability.
And I, yeah,
Where Kral casts Thunderwave at Mazdak or in the vicinity of Mazdak, however
Yeah.
that spell works,
Yeah, I think
which
it's
forces Mazdak to make a Constitution save to avoid the damage.
Okay.
At that point, Atan, you use your reaction to cast your extended shield spell.
Yeah.
Around Mazdak, which gives him advantage on the save. We'll just say that for now. I haven't decided exactly.
yeah, no,
how.
that's fine. Yeah,
I'm gonna do something that doesn't damage because Kral basically is giving Atan a really aggressive side eye throughout this entire explanation because he's like, I really don't want to hurt my stack. So he's gonna cast Vortex Warp instead, which is the I will
Okay.
teleport you from one place to another.
yeah,
Force
yeah,
of
completely,
teleport, yeah.
completely, yeah.
So I now have advantage on the con save for this. Yes.
Yes.
I was say, because if he manages to fail, Kroll could potentially knock him down.
I could potentially kill him.
Quite.
Wow.
6.
Your mind sharpener thing. Oh no, hang on, no, that's
No,
if you
no,
roll.
no, I can't do that either. As well as this, I don't think, because that gives me advantage. So
Yeah. The problem is Mazdak has a -2 or something to con saves. It's unlikely to give him too much assistance, but you feel that protective energy around you, Mazdak,
yeah,
as Atan is trying to protect you against the negative effect of.
but it doesn't work because I rolled shit.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
But you feel the energy,
Terrible.
so that's
Yeah, I can feel it. I can
repeat.
I understand what you're trying to do. I'm like, okay, yes, no, that's very good. I understand.
marvelous. I'm glad it works. Thank you, Carl. Mastak.
Yeah, I think if you cast Thunderwave, I'd probably be dead.
Yeah.
2d8 damage, so
Oh no, then I should be all right. Mazdak
You'd
is
be all
28 at a minute.
just severely maimed.
Hey, beefy boy.
I mean,
Bishop
you,
boy.
you could have cast it at 3rd level or something. So that,
Yeah, you know.
it's needlessly dangerous. Okay, so
Okay, cool. But
you
yeah,
boys
we'll figure what that does, Martin.
yeah, the dex is kind of easy to go. Oh yeah, there's a whatever the thing's called, whatever the
Think
rogue
about it,
thing's called.
I would have cast reduce. I would have cast enlarge.
It
on
doesn't,
Mazdak.
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
So Mazdak briefly basically becomes half the size.
You used to be shorter, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
You're all grown up now.
You're
Oh,
going
yeah.
through a shrinking spurt.
So, you boys finish with your bits, your
Yep.
tinkering and your whatnots, and head back to the house. And yeah, just want to check in with Bernia. How's she feeling? ahead of.
Venya's
Right.
on the second day up very early and is basically spending the entire day in the Temple of Nagale because she is unsteady, not confident, and trying to find that confidence again, trying to build herself up ready for this.
As you sit there for a while, there are people that come in and out, and at some point it's empty in there. You're the only person. You don't really notice, you're not paying that much attention, but what you do notice is at your feet some vines that just sort of move and then come up the chair next to you and just come together and coalesce, and Nagale is sat beside you. How you feeling?
I do not know if I am ready for this.
I believe you are. Everything you've done since that day.
Oh, hey, puppy.
Incredible.
A lot of it is due to the others.
Yes, your friends are a strength. But I wonder how far they'd have got without you.
I think I am most afraid of losing some of them to it.
A haunting possibility. But that thing cannot be left in the world.
No.
And you have directly spoken with people that fight these things regularly. They have told you how to fight it efficiently. You are armed and capable. You are strong and powerful. And I know you can do this.
Dog.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean I just shouted.
Yes.
And I think that once the mission is complete, once the beast has been felled, that's when you are ready.
I understand. Yes.
You are one of my favourite champions, Bernia. One of the favourite champions I think I've ever had. But this is the one thing that's stopping you from becoming the champion.
That lingering doubt. The I need to stop thinking of myself as a failure. Stop thinking that I could have done anything to save those people. And I shall avenge them in these coming days.
I know you will do it for their memories, for their souls, and not for revenge.
I wish
Go ahead.
I wish to see it to a point where it cannot harm anymore.
there are times with us gods when we discuss the mortals. And sometimes we get some insight from one of our own. Liasol is enigmatic, to say the least, but they do drop pearls of wisdom on certain mortals that are worth looking out for. And when I heard your name mentioned by them, that is why I stepped in. That is why I helped you survive. I couldn't save anyone else. That would be against the natural order, despite this whole thing being very unnatural. You've proven me right to do so every step of the way.
I am deeply honored by all you have done for me.
So put that doubt aside. Go to Pytusco. Slay the beast. Become the champion you were always meant to be. Forge your own weapon. And become my root warden. And she just falls back into the vines on the floor.
I just let out a thank you as I just kind of return to my meditations, kind of feeling emboldened.
Cool. So I think we can leave it there. We can pick up when we return to this in a few weeks' time.
Awesome job.
Okay, are you going to update my shield in the thingies?
I certainly can do that.
Thank you very much, sir.
Because I updated your shield, I did. Where is it? Inventory?
I love how the Scalebanes have like shops everywhere now.
Oh, yeah.
It's canon across multiple campaigns.
Yep.
Because you,
I never intended the Scalebane shop in Kantichi to become such a part of the campaign, but it was just thrown in as I've got to put Smithy in there, so let's just call it Scalebanes, why not?
because you guys lent your name to a human smith, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's still going.
Almost got in serious trouble for that.
Yeah. Yeah, your dad wasn't very happy.
Just gonna franchise. It's fine. We'll make loads.
Oh,
Yeah. So there we go. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope we're all prepared. There's lots of preparations going on.
the murderer has
Puppy!
arrived. The
Murderer!
The murderer is
Murderer
here.
is here.
Murderer.
She's a
A
bird.
three.
She murdered.
Murderer.
She murdered 3
Bird
birds
murderer.
today.
Murderer.
Murdered them to death.
Yes, she.
Well, they need to get the fuck out of her lawn
No,
then.
I'm still trying to stay optimistic that it was only 2, not 3.
That's delusional. She.
They were
killed-
small, squeaking, and in her territory.
So she
So
killed
she
them.
dealt with them.
I mean, yeah.
I'd say
I mean,
out of all
Terrier,
of like the
what are you gonna do?
interactions and relationships between the party and the NPCs, I love that Bernier and Severell recognize each other and know that there is a connection, but neither of them give each other respect on it. It's like
Neither of them have the emotional range to confront that yet.
maybe not. But Root Warden is a great title. I'm looking forward to that.
Yes,
It is.
thank you. That came to me yesterday, and I was like,
The fruit warden.
Root
I think
Is that-
fruit ball is better.
I don't know why. I just always envision
Tastier.
lots of like tree imagery for Bonia, like
Mhm.
an unrelenting oak weathering a storm and stuff like that.
Yeah, thank you, Martin. That was really good fun.
Yes.
Fantastic.
I'm looking forward to instructing my Padawans in the ways of the weave.
So when are we back then?
22nd of
That's a
June.
very good question.
22nd of June.
22nd.
1, 2, 3, 4 weeks from now.
It's the weekend after my birthday.
I have absolutely no compulsion in saying I will probably ask every Sunday for the next 4 weeks.
Yeah.
What we need to know.
We know.
Yeah,
To be fair, James, we'd be worried if you didn't ask.
I did say today, James hasn't put anything in the chat, has he?
Yeah.
You,
Normally, it's as sure as the sun rises. James
Yeah.
will ask if we have D&D.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's perfectly fine. That's acceptable behaviour.
Absolutely.
I'm also old and I forget things.
This also happens. So yeah, thank you very much, Martin. That was really good fun. I really enjoyed
Any
it.
sort of thoughts or questions anyone wants to throw out there? It's not really conspiracy beard time, but
Well, I think it's
It's
interesting that we've got a sort of different approach because everybody's going, "Oh, we'll get loads of armies and stuff." And I'm like, I don't think we need to do that. I think we
No.
need to get selected individuals because I think Jakoto actually would desperately want to come through the ritual into the realm of the gods to deal with Vastro
to
herself.
either kill or be killed by Vastro.
Yeah,
Anything just to
That's
confront
her goal.
Vastro for being an asshole, basically.
Yeah.
It's interesting because we've not really made a huge number of allies. I mean,
I mean,
We-
we've got more than you think. I mean,
we've got what
Great.
Jakoto, we've got Seti and Lermy.
the new ruler of Contarara's territory kind of technically owes Seti a favour.
Yeah, he's a bit.
He's a
I
bit.
don't know.
I've been desperately wanting to kind of bring that dragon back.
He's
Um,
he was so murderous. He didn't even let the Weasley Green Dragon escape. So I was desperate to do that.
Hey,
hey, if you're going to be murdery, go all out.
Be really murdery.
he let that other strange dragon collect bits for his experiment.
I
So,
did,
you know,
yeah. See, I was nice.
he wasn't that murdery. I mean, come on.
I murdered everyone but my ally.
That's only fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go, James. I've whipped that up for you. You've now got a +2.
I'm very interested as to what situation we're going to walk into when we get to the Divine Realm,
Oh, it's going to be a shit show.
because
I think you're all
there's
jumping ahead a little bit. We've got to deal with Ridagita first. There's no guarantees
Yes,
we're
I
all
know.
going to survive that.
Yeah, we
that's
need to
very
not
true.
get them.
There's a reason Bonia was in her comfort place in the temple,
Yeah.
because
You got to remember, Mazdak is still only 28 hit points. You know, one hit from
And I think-
Ridagita, that could be it.
that thing carved through 2 armies like a hot knife through butter.
Exactly.
So
So Mazdak's going to have to be very tactical.
And
Yeah, I
considering,
could totally one-shot man. Was that easy?
Two armies
And
of
can-
non-magic
Yeah.
individuals.
considering the last magical creature
True.
we fought when they didn't get ramped up in a nightmare, they were still hitting for like 30.
Yeah. Yeah. Being able to one-shot Mazdak isn't the flex you think it is.
yeah,
I mean, even for our one-shot Mazdak at this point.
That's most people sneezing, that isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mazdak could one-shot Mazdak. You know,
Yeah.
so it's...
Imagine Mazdak throwing a
Fireball at his own
spell at the Sakalix and then getting murdered by his own spell.
Yep. That
My
would absolutely
just
happen.
looking at this as a dragonborn, my breath weapon, because of my elemental affinity, would be 2 points over Mazdak's HP if I rolled the highest I could.
Make Anger the Ridigator to start fighting.
Go for the weak spots.
Go for its weak spots. Damage the tail. Hit the eyes. Then when it starts screaming, stab into the mouth. And at that point, hit it really fucking hard on the head.
Yes,
That's what I've
combo
written down.
move. Combo
Well,
move.
Put it this way,
I'm finding-
without a crit on great weapon fighting, my first hit can do up to 55 damage.
It's
That's definitely more than a Mazdak.
Yep.
That's almost double a Mazdak.
It's nearly
actually.
2 Mazdacs.
Yeah, just under.
Yeah.
Even with my sword, I can do 24. I do 26 points of damage with one hit with my sword. So that's almost a Mazdak.
Yep.
Mm.
Nearly.
This is a nice thought. Everyone going around the room, seeing how quickly they could kill Mazdak.
Yeah, I'm definitely
To
not
be-
calculating that myself now.
To be fair, you've got to fucking hit me first.
This is also true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Mazdak
If
is a lot.
Mazdak gets on horseback and just starts pinging around the battlefield,
I just cast grease on the really
blink horse.
I have to cast a 5th level spell to even reach that not on a crit. Like
Yeah.
and that's maximum rolls. That is maximum rolls.
I mean, my damaging spells are not great, but then Mazdak isn't really a damaging style of wizard.
It's a utility wizard.
I am utility.
Yeah,
wizard,
yeah,
so,
completely.
you
Killer
know,
Wizard. Wiswo!
wizard.
So I think we've got.
No, Only can do 48 on
Yeah,
a
that'll do.
non-crit 3rd level smite.
Yeah, I can do a 3rd level spell, easily get there.
Yeah.
I think between Bernia and Sasha, I think Bernia would probably stand a better chance against Mazdak.
Well,
Because I have a mount that can...
talk.
Yeah.
But
Is-
yes, it's been brought up and mentioned. Jakoto was coming with you.
Yes.
Oh,
When you wanted to
absolutely, yeah.
not.
She wants to go talk to the management and deal with Vastro.
She's
That-
going.
That's what I was trying to talk about.
Koto's
Because,
getting her Karen on.
because we've got, like... I assume that most of the gods probably don't want all of this to happen, but we're going to have to deal with Vastro, Isthala, and Hanumo, because they both are very invested. They're all 3 of them are invested in this apocalypse happening. But then we also have to try and get a bead on the old gods, which we know
Rara.
very little about.
Yeah.
So,
Rematch time.
oh yes, I'm looking forward to that as well. Rematch with Contarara.
Might be a bit of a different fight this time, but I'm looking forward to it.
yeah. I mean, we
Hell yeah.
we totally had her. She only
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
she ran from us, which I think is going to be one of Mazdak's sort of gambits is when talking to the other gods. Is go,
like
she ran
she
from
is
us.
a coward.
Look at us. She ran from us. You know, that sort of thing. So, you know, I think it's going to be. I'm looking forward to
It's
that,
really fun
but
because-
I think the Riddigita fight is
Oh, I'm
is the
looking forward
thing
to that
that
too.
I'm looking forward to first because it's going to be interesting with all these new toys that we have to sort of
Yeah.
flex our muscles a bit
Well,
and
as
see what we
It's not
can
like a
actually
burn
do.
pump, they have a- yeah.
Absolutely,
Jeff?
you can.
As long as I can burn something, because nearly everything
Yeah.
we've come across so far has been immune to bloody fire.
Yep.
Or at least resistant to it.
Or spells.
That's kind of the balance because fire always does the most damage of anything. Fireball is the best 3rd level spell by a mile, but that is balanced by things having resistances to it. So
yeah,
I know from first-hand experience that going all fire, all the fire, as he used to say,
Yes.
is just objectively a bad idea.
Yeah.
I mean,
But
have-
obviously,
In terms of the balancing, that explains exactly why poison and acid spells do very little damage and are resisted by everything. Wait, hang on.
Fair.
It infuriates me that is the case.
Yeah.
It's like
Isn't poison like the most resisted element in the entire game?
Yeah.
it's either
I think
poison or
so.
acid. It's one of the two. The most it like pops up the most in the DMG, but the resistance is not for
Don't
Anything
dwarves
else.
have like resistance to poison?
dwarves are
Poison.
resistant to poison.
Yeah, poison is the element that is that has the most monsters and NPCs immune to it as well.
Because a lot of undead are immune to poison, a lot of constructs are immune to poison, a lot of aberrations are as well.
And not that you would have got this far in that, but monks are also resistant and immune to it as well.
The shade,
Hey, I was level 15, you fucker.
the
Yeah, but you came
shade
in-
being thrown.
You came into that campaign at like level 12, so that doesn't count.
It wasn't that bad.
It
Bad
was.
enough.
Hang on.
Really got the surprise around with that one.
Yeah, that was
Oh.
a straight up ambush. That one.
Going. I mean,
It was level 9.
Power kill.
Okay, yeah.
So
Okay.
you managed
That
6
doesn't
levels.
count.
Well done.
Hey,
So
at least you did cast darkness to run off a cliff.
yeah,
Cast Darkness
You
run off a
did
cliff
something
into
once,
lava.
And that's all people remember you for.
Hey, hey.
I mean, talk to Finny about that.
yeah,
is
I've got
because
two
of
things
the
people remember me for.
Log. Anyway,
Yeah.
Logs and
we
reach rounds.
are taking a little break, as you may have heard. We're going to be back in 4 weeks' time. We've got various bits and pieces going on, so we'll be back on the 22nd of June with the Runagita fight, probably. And then, of course, after that, we'll resume Helleran and Investigators as we go. I know that I've asked someone to do a Helleran. Can't remember who it was. Recap.
Oh,
Wasn't
it's
me?
It is you, yes.
Yeah,
sorry.
write that down, Yorick.
Write that down, Yorick. So Yorik's doing our recap for that. Martin, have you got a victim in mind?
I'm
I
next.
think it's Kral, isn't it?
I'm next.
Okay, cool. So, with that being said, thank you very much for watching. We will catch you in a few weeks' time. Have a wonderful time. If you liked us, then we think you're the best. You're absolutely fantastic. Go look at our back catalogue. It's on YouTube. It's, why not? There's a lot. There is a lot. So, try some of the shorter campaigns. One's at Finny DMs. Do that.
Oh, wow, thanks.
But then again,
I'm
don't
just
do
saying
that, 'cause
that they're just about the right sort of length for you to watch in the 4 weeks when we're not here. So,
Very true.
if you didn't like us, however, don't even fucking dare looking at our YouTube channel. I will find you. And off you fuck.